Good morning, team. It's day 2 of your second week. We're continuing our little journey in some squatting movements. I'm David from CrossFit Cirencester, aka Disco.
And I'm Anna, and thank you for joining us again. So today we are going to mix it up a little bit and introduce a bit more lateral movements and some plyometric movements.
Title of today's workout is The Burn is Real. Plyometrics is the key there. That's that little red flag waving saying this is definitely going to be a bit of an uncomfortable one. Again, good challenge. Hopefully brings us all together.
Yeah, and it helps you work on your speed and how explosive you are at the bottom of your squat.
And again, lots of calories when we go plyometric.
Yes, absolutely.
Provided you're nice and safe, that is. So our quote of the day, life is as good as your mindset.
So it's really, really useful to work on your mindset. And what we mean by that is being really positive and towards your goals in your training and just in life.
Yeah, we actually have a blackboard at the gym. CrossFit Cirencester, so that we've got lots of positivity quotes and that people have written down. So goals for their year, goals for lifetime goals, that kind of stuff. It might just be things like just keeping, again, a positive mindset. It might be something about
a specific goal,
yes,
a target,
yeah.
How much you'd like to squat, or you'd like to learn to handstand walk. What we're trying to say is having a positive mind has a direct correlation to how you perform. So the more we can stay positive and have that outlet, the better we are going to be.
Definitely.
Right.
So the way the workout's going to work today, again, is we'll go through and give you a nice little warm-up. I've got some specific stuff, some new things for you today. We'll then go to some conditioning, and then we'll obviously hit the mech on the metabolic condition, the bit where we get hot and sweaty and groan and make lots of funny noises. Right.
Right, so you get warm?
Roll? Let's roll.
Right, so we're going to start with your right leg. We're going to take a lunge forwards, and we're going to do 5 forward lunges. Now you can stay high, or if you can, come with me and we go down to the floor.
So you can just gently kiss the ground, and we're not trying to bash the knee into the floor. Make sure you're nice and safe.
Then we're going to go 5 laterally.
I'm going to take a step to the back. So again, make sure that knee is always tracking over the little toe. which you feel is obviously on the leg we're lunging on.
And then we're going to take a step back.
So this looks like a lunge again. It's pretty much a squat more than a lunge. So I think it's not really a lunge.
So before we go onto our left leg, we're going to come into our plank position like we learnt last week, and I'm going to rotate to one side, come back down, controlled, rotate. Doing 10 rotations in total.
And again, if this is too hard, you can just simply go into your knees and do exactly the same workout from the knees. So it's proprioception, coordination, a little bit of agility, adding new elements to your fitness.
Okay, left side lunges, 5 per leg.
Again, focus on keeping that chest as upright as possible. We talked a little bit about not walking the tightrope. So we're not trying to walk in a nice straight line, we're trying to step slightly out to the side to make sure you're not going to wobble and fall over.
And we go behind.
So once Anna finishes this sequence, we'll obviously plank again.
Yep.
And then I'll take you through some more stuff, some activation exercises to make sure that those glutes are firing.
Plank one more time.
It's like you're going to high-five me with a backhand. And low. And high. And one down low.
So this is the kneeling one. For those who couldn't achieve that. One more.
Pretty close now, team.
Let's activate.
So we're going to go into our hands and knees. I'll show you these from the side to front to begin with. Again, we talked about this last week. It's bringing that knee up and out to the side. We're doing 5 reps.
So with the squat, it's really, really important to activate those glutes. So all those muscles around the hip complex. And the more we activate them, the better they're going to perform.
This time a straight leg. I'll show you from the side. This next one, knee to chest, lift the heel up.
So it's 5 of each movement.
And knee to chest, leg goes out straight, then lift the heel up.
So you can see the squeeze. If we want to activate something, we need to make sure that it's working. It needs to
Cracking
switch it on.
your buttocks, team.
So just give it a squeeze. And then we do exactly the same on the other side. So we definitely want to make sure those major muscles are switched on before we start introducing some plyometric work. So adding in some jump element into the workout, because it does put a lot of stress on the body. So we're making sure we've mobilized the joints and the muscles are fired up, ready to go. So we maintain nice and safe and we don't get
Last one.
Awesome.
Focusing at your feet.
So we're now going to work on some conditioning. So we're going to show you 3 movements and you're going to work through those 3 movements for 2 rounds.
Yep.
So we're going to start with something called an in-out jump. So if you have something like a plate, just something nice and shallow. David, do you want to demonstrate?
So staying on the balls of our feet, you jump on.
And then you jump off.
Jump off. Really.
Now, what you can do, if you don't want to add the jump, you can do the step. You can step on and off, up and down. Brilliant. So we've got 2 options there. So that's going to be 20 reps. Our second movement is the 1 1/4 squat.
Okay, here we go. So 1 full squat, stand all the way up.
Into a
Quarter squat.
quarter squat.
Back to the top, that's 2. Okay, so it's very easy to get lost in those numbers. We'll try and count them as we go through. We're going to try and do 15.
Yep, 15
1
of those.
5 of those.
And then, finale movement, 12. Single leg RDLs.
So
Arabesque.
RDL is a Romanian deadlift. A bit like an arabesque. So we talked about this a few weeks ago when we took that nice flat body position.
Yes.
As the head goes down, the foot goes up.
Now, if you need to, you can just use some assistance from your chair.
Again, make sure your exercise space is safe. Don't get kung fu in the face like I nearly was then.
Right, guys, so 20, 15, 12, 2 rounds. Let's get going. Let's get that heart rate up. So, David, do you want to start?
So not out to break any records at the moment, just warming up. And that's 20. 1, 2, 1 1/4 squats, 3. Let's count the top of the movement. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Doing 15.
10, 11, nearly there. 12, 13, 14, and 15. Some people find that quite challenging to manage 15 of those in a row. That's pretty hard exercise.
RDLs, 12 RDLs.
I'm going to use a plate.
If that was too much, just do a normal air squat, like we taught yesterday. So David's using a plate just to make sure that he's not having to stretch too far. So again, it's really important to work to your own range. I'm a little bit more flexible than David, so he needs the plate.
Only by 2%.
It's fine, it doesn't matter. Right, done 12?
And last one. Yeah.
Okay, so shall I do the announcers this time?
So we're switching roles, just again so we can keep speaking. If it felt quite easy last round, obviously by all means speed up. It's another Chris Hinshaw favourite.
Yeah.
As mentioned last week, Chris Hinshaw is the man when it comes to CrossFit.
Yeah, endurance capacity work. Oh, lactic threshold. He's the man for that. So you should be into round 2. Don't worry if you're not. And again, choose the appropriate scale. So if this is a bit too much, just simple air squats, or you can sit onto the chair. As long as you complete 15.
8.
Okay. So you should feel your heart rate coming up. Should definitely feel warmer. And you can still focus and practice those coaching points from yesterday. So chest up, bum below the knee, knees out.
That's 15.
Right, RDLs.
Anna makes this one look slightly more aesthetically pleasing than I do on this one.
Going to inside on, sorry.
Ooh, I'm trying for this one.
Yeah, watch out. Just because you can see that even though I'm quite flexible, I still keep under tension. I'm still keeping my back nice and controlled.
Kung Fu Panda coming out.
You should really feel this in those back of the legs, in those hamstrings. Lost count now, but I think that's 12.
Okay, well done.
Brilliant.
So it should be pretty reasonably out of breath.
Yeah, and everything should
joint
be,
should be nice and
switched
warm.
on. Yeah, and safe. So we are doing a chipper style workout like we did last week on day 2, and it's an 8-minute chipper. So what that means is we start with a really high number and we have to work all the way down and chip away at all the movements.
And the good news is, if you're super, super fast and really efficient, you get to spend more quality time on the final movements.
We do.
We have an AMRAP to finish up.
So, right, let's teach the first movement. So we have 100 lateral hops. Shall I demo?
Let's go for this one then.
So, what we want to try and do is get you confident jumping sideways. So it's really important exercise to make sure you're working all planes of movement. So we've stayed quite static before, haven't we? So what I'm going to do is hop to the side and then I'm going to hop over.
So for most people, you find this quite, well, a few of them will find it quite challenging, won't they? So we have an alternative just in case.
Yeah, do you want to show it then?
So the alternative is going to be a 2-foot jump. Exactly the same thing. Obviously that should be a lot more stable. If that's too hard, we could simply hold the back of a chair and it's exactly the same thing. 2-foot or single foot.
So you are
Making sure you're
completing
safe.
100 of those hops. Once you've completed that, we move on to 80 reverse lunges.
So reverse lunge you saw a moment ago, it's just a long step back, kiss the floor with the knee, long step back, kiss the floor with the knee. Again, I reach backwards and slightly out to the side to make sure I'm stable. I'm not going to fall over.
Once you've done 80 of those, we have 60 of our squat thrusts. So, by demo, so this is the highest version.
So we have 2 different scales again for you guys today.
Or,
So a hard one and an easy one. Again, likewise, if there's too much, you can use your chair and it'll be exactly the same thing. Harder, easier.
awesome. Then we have 40 squat jumps. So
Okay.
we have done the squat jumps last week.
So you definitely want to break these down. 40 in a row
Yeah,
is
quite
going to be
challenging.
very challenging. So maybe you go 10, 10, 10, 10, or 2 20s. That'll still be quite a challenge, 2 20s.
Right, let's show it. Again, at any point, if it's too much, just take the jump out and do a normal air squat. Then we have 30 mountain climbers.
So again, I'll give you 2 options in this one as well. We've got the high mountain climber. We take a big step up. This will definitely challenge your range of motion, your hips. Or we can take 1, 2, 3, 4. Shorten the range of motion, makes it easier. Equally the same thing I had over here. Big steps, a little bit harder. Shallow steps, a little bit easier. Nevertheless, you're still working, still getting the benefit of all that exercise.
Right, if you are super fast and you finish all of that work, it is not over. You will spend the remaining time doing the 1 1/4 squats like we did earlier.
Good luck.
So back to these. We have 8 minutes. So for example, if you finish in 6 minutes, you have got 2 minutes on those squats.
So still push pretty hard, team. Don't as a signal to take it easy and not do 1 1/4 squats. You guys can send us your scores. We want to see big numbers on those 1 1/4 squats.
Basically, we need you to keep working for 8 minutes, whether you're working through the chipper or you are on that AMRAP of those squats. So everyone is going to work for 8 minutes in total.
I've got a feeling it's going to get really hot and sweaty.
I think so too. Are we ready, guys? So get
Emergency
ready.
Headband on.
Let's get 8 minutes on the clock.
So the clock will count down today from 8 minutes. Athletes, 10-second countdown. Stand by.
So start.
Give it a go. Yep. And keep out of the way. It's those lateral hops to begin with. Twelve, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Tagging out. We go 2-footed.
Yep, go
Body
for
to
it.
scale version.
So we're looking for, with this jump, the 2-foot takeoff, 2-foot landing, or with me, we're doing it on the single leg.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh. $18, 19, 20.
Well done.
So that's 60. So break this up however you need to, guys. And if the jump gets too much, just use the chair, or you can take the jump out.
It's like mogul skiing.
So the closer you go together, the easier it becomes. The further I jump, the harder it becomes.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done.
Lunges.
Through it already. Good job. So it's reverse lunge, stepping backwards. Kiss the ground. Step to meet. So I hope you can see in the posture it's very much more like a squat than it is a lunge.
So reverse lunges are brilliant for really working those glute muscles. So that butt muscles that we need for our squats.
And pistols later on in the week.
How many are you doing?
That's 12 so far. We do 20.
Yeah, sure.
$18, 19, and that's 20. So again, Anna and I go and you go, I go. Sharing the work. Again, just so we can speak, keep you guys going. Anna's working at a slightly faster pace than I was doing a moment ago. Again, if you want to scale some down, remember avoid the ground. Or alternatively, you can hold on to something like a chair, or some kind of work surface so you're not going to topple over. Take some of that effort to the legs.
19. You go.
That's 40. Halfway.
So this is a really good practice for those knees. So that front knee, make sure you're pushing it out over that second and third toe,
you can definitely
just like
see
the squat. It wants to come in, doesn't it? So you have to really use these glute muscles to keep it out. You're doing another 20?
Yep.
Take us to 60.
This is 19, last one coming up. There's 20. We're
Right.
off.
So we want to make sure we're standing all the way up, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. So again, there's no point doing half range of motion. We want to work through the full range of motion. We've got a couple of our CrossFit Cirencester athletes that have special t-shirts, high standards, low squats. It's the same thing. We want to make sure
18,
we're high standard for everything.
19, you're on squat thrusts.
Okay.
60 squat thrusts.
So we're going to probably blocks of 10s for these.
So really working that range of movement on these. See, David's trying to get his foot to his hand. It's really working on opening up those hips.
That's 10. Oh, another big. So lots of things going on with that squat thrusts. Using quite a lot of abs. We're obviously getting that front support we practiced last week in our press-up workouts.
That's 10. So that's 20 out of the 60.
This is the scale version.
Yeah, so David's doing the scale version now. So we're just taking some of the range out.
There's a further scale using a chair.
Oh.
That's 40.
Yeah, 40. So I finish, you go into the jump squats.
Oh, nice. So we've got 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Jump squats, mountain climbs to come.
Oh, let's go.
Aim set 10,
Yeah, I think so.
and that's 10. So still the same cues, chest up, knees out.
That's 10. 20 to go. If this is too much, just take the jump out and work on that technique.
30. Eight, 9, and 10, almost 40.
Mountain climbers. $15.
Yep.
Oh, we got just under 2 minutes. Can we do this?
15. So the heart rate's going to be pretty quite high now for you guys. Work on your own. Got just over, under 90 seconds remaining. Keep pushing, see if we can get one of those
Done.
1 1/4s.
Right, so if you finish, you're into this. As many as you can in the remaining
1.
time.
2.
Oh, hot
3.
now. Just over a minute left, guys.
4.
Keep working. You are
5.
doing awesome.
6. 7, over 10.
Yep.
8. 9.
1 minute.
10. Well done. So 1 minute to go, team. The burn is real.
It is real.
So once you finish, obviously we're going to a little cool down.
9, 10, that's 20. 35 seconds on the clock. Oh, 25 seconds.
7. 8. 9. Ready?
Yep.
Anna's back in 10. Last 15 seconds. 1,
Ugh.
2, 3, 4. 10 seconds. 5, 6, 7, 8. Really close. 9. And 10. Well done. High five for you. Virtual high fives for you guys. Good job.
Well done, guys.
That would have been hot and sweaty on your own.
Amazing work.
Yeah, really very well done.
That is a tough workout.
Yeah. So again, like I said before, it doesn't matter where you finish, just that you obviously had a good crack and did it with the best of your ability. That's always the key for these kind of workouts.
Absolutely, and remembering those technique points.
Yeah, very much so.
Right, cool down.
Cool down,
Yeah.
cool down.
There's definitely.
So yesterday we introduced you to the foam rollers.
Yep.
We'll go through some stretches and I'm going to show you a few more exercises with the foam rollers.
Definitely, I think the calves, we definitely need to attack those calves.
Okay, so let's do the calves to begin with.
We've done a lot of jumping, and your calf muscles take a lot of the strain on that.
Switch equipment. So Anna's going to use the foam roller. She's going to use the nice fat bit. She can do both legs at the same time if she wishes, or she can do this version.
You can weight one leg on the other to add a little bit more pressure.
If you guys are using the ball, you can work left and right. So I'm working where the muscle and tendons join. Notice how my calf rolls left and right over the roller. Or I can go up and down. The same as Anna's doing.
It's about 30 seconds.
Yeah, so
Works
again,
at about 30 seconds.
yeah, 20 reps, just 30 seconds to a minute really.
And we're pushing up the body, aren't we?
Yeah,
Towards,
always working towards the heart.
to flush everything out.
Do my other leg, exactly the same thing.
Yep.
If you guys want some extra stuff for any jumping movements like running, we've got some stuff on our YouTube page, so CrossFit Cirencester on YouTube.
So warm-ups for all those things are really, really important. So if you don't have a good, consistent warm-up, come visit our page, CrossFit Cirencester, on YouTube, and there is a warm-up on there specifically for running, which carries across to jumping and plyometrics. Hamstrings?
The hamstrings, yeah. So exactly the same thing, just move that roll a little bit higher up. Anna's obviously getting one leg at a time. I did the same thing.
Now I tend to concentrate on the outer part of the hamstring, so I basically just turn my body and a little bit more pressure on the outside.
And again, if you have something that's quite high, like a table or something, and using a ball, you can do a similar movement. We can do it from a seat position, so we can put more weight through the hamstring. So I'm doing my hamstring and ischium.
Now don't worry if you don't have a foam roller, we're going to show you a stretch for your calf and for your hamstring, aren't we?
Yep.
So standing calf.
Yep. So we're going to go with heel on the floor and literally dip that back knee.
And you're internally rotating, aren't you, the back leg?
I'll show you from the side. Might be some
What we mean by that is David's pointing his toes inwards on that back leg.
Again, if I was to straighten my leg out by holding the chair, it's different again. So we have two muscle groups there,
Yeah.
gastrocnemius and soleus.
Switch legs.
So we spend a lot of time working on these because we do lots of things like box jumps and split jerks, that kind of stuff. It's really dynamic. So we want to make sure that our calves and Achilles are generally quite pliable. Particularly lots of jumping or skipping and running.
Do you want to do a standing hamstring? I'll do a lying hamstring stretch.
Yep, sounds good.
If I go side on.
So Anna's going to do one from the floor. We're going to go with same thing, leg out straight and reaching towards the floor.
So I'm not holding my joint. I'm just adding slight pressure. I'm not putting any strain onto the hamstring, and you should feel this stretch here.
This is like shooing chickens away. Shoo chickens.
Now if I turn my foot slightly in towards me, it's going to intensify that stretch.
Exactly the same with me. If I turn my toe in or turn my toe out, it'll add an emphasis to different heads of the hamstring. There's 3 heads for your hamstrings.
Now, if you're not as flexible to reach your leg, you could just use a towel and help pull that leg down.
Someone's a band somewhere. Where's the band?
Or a band.
So again, you could use a little band or a big band or a towel.
You could just pop it around my foot just to help support my leg as I go through that stretch. Again, I'm not forcing the stretch. I'm keeping the leg, we're not stretching down. I'm keeping my hip on the floor.
And we'll finish it with one quad exercise. So we'll go with that half kneeling when we taught you last week. leg out straight, as if you're about to do the hurdles. And then come down onto the elbow. Some of you have to work on the hands, and some of you can go all the way down. Always bear in mind keeping this knee on the floor, so make sure the stretch is nice and safe, and your body stays in line with a straight leg. How's that feel? Good stretch?
Good. Let's do the other side.
Let's switch legs. Exact same thing, hurdle style stretch. Lower myself towards the floor. And again, depending how flexible you are, you can also go close to the ground. As we've said to you a few times, we're generally stretching 45 seconds to a minute ideally.
Hey, brilliant.
Very slowly coming up.
Yeah. Take your time.
So we'd love to see some photographs if some of you managed to get through all those reps.
Absolutely.
Get to those 1 1/4 squats. That was a huge achievement if you did. Very impressive.
It was a tough workout, guys, so super well done. That was challenging, and that would be very challenging on your own, so
Most
you
definitely.
did amazing.
Good work, team. So again, virtual high fives
Yeah.
for you guys. That was superb. Another day complete.
Another day, and we will see you again tomorrow for some more.
Have a great day. Enjoy it.
Bye, guys.